Scientists have just discovered something incredible on the interstellar comet 3I Atlas. As this cosmic visitor from the depths of space moves through our solar system and approaches its closest point to Earth, it is exhibiting completely unexpected behavior.
We're going to take a look at the new footage, so make sure to stay tuned until the end, because this discovery is truly spectacular. A warm welcome, everyone.
I interviewed Professor Avi Loeb, and although I'm still not convinced by the arguments for 3I Atlas's alien origin, it was a very exciting conversation.
And I also fundamentally believe that people should engage in dialogue when they have differing opinions. I think that's something that's often neglected in our times.
Please write in the comments who among you has seen the interview and what you thought of it. I'm very curious to hear your thoughts. And if you want to be informed immediately about new galactic discoveries, then subscribe to the channel. It's free, you'll never miss a video again, and you'll be helping me out a lot.
And if you've already subscribed, giving the video a thumbs up really helps. Let's try to hit 5,000 likes. Thanks everyone. Alright, now let's head over to our icy guest from the depths of the galaxy.
We have already discussed 3I Atlas in several videos. This interstellar comet is racing through the solar system at about 220,000 kilometers per hour and will soon be out of our reach. But shortly before its departure, it gave us a scientific sensation that surprised even experienced researchers just a few days before it would reach its closest approach to Earth on December 19th. But first things first. When 3I Atlas reached its closest point to the Sun at the end of October, an astronomer at the Joan Road telescope in Spain was blown away. High-resolution images suddenly revealed jets of gas and dust erupting from the comet's surface with impressive intensity. The crazy thing was that the way these eruptions occurred pointed to ice volcanism.
Wait a minute. Volcanoes on a comet? Sounds completely absurd, I know. But cryovolcanism is actually a well-known phenomenon in the solar system.
We know this, for example, from Saturn's moon Enceladus, which shoots huge fountains of water into space through cracks in its ice crust, or from Neptune's moon Triton, on whose frozen surface such icy eruptions also occur. But no one had ever observed this on an interstellar comet before, and it is not really to be expected because the reason for cryovolcanism on the icy moons is the strong gravity of the gas planets, which needs the moons in their motion. And such tidal forces should not exist on a comet at all. So what is going on here?
Josep Trigo Rodriguez, the lead scientist of the study from the Institute of Space Science in Spain, sums up the researchers' surprise.
We were all surprised. It is remarkable that the mixture of materials on the surface of this body shows similarities to trans-Neptunian objects, i.e., bodies that formed at a great distance from the Sun, but belong to our planetary system. So a comet originating from a completely foreign star system in the Milky Way exhibits the same properties as objects from the outer regions of the solar system.
What does that mean? It suggests that the conditions in the outer regions of planetary systems may be more universal than we thought. But how exactly do these ice volcanoes work if they're not triggered by the gravity of large planets?
The researchers have developed a fascinating theory. As 3I Atlas approached the Sun and reached a distance of about 378 million kilometers, its surface began to heat up. This exceeded a critical point, and frozen carbon dioxide, or dry ice trapped inside the comet, began to sublimate. It transformed directly from a solid to a gaseous state. This sublimation set off a chain reaction. The evaporating carbon dioxide allowed oxidizing liquids to penetrate the interior of the comet. There they encountered pristine, untouched materials, reactive iron and nickel particles, and sulfides. The chemical reaction between these substances generated additional energy and pressure, which ultimately led to the spectacular eruptions we were able to observe.
To test their theory, the scientists conducted a very clever comparison. They analyzed the spectroscopic data from 3I Atlas and compared it with primitive meteorites that NASA collected in Antarctica. These so-called carbonaceous chondrites are essentially time capsules from the early days of the solar system. By the way, that's a very nice insult. If someone gets on your nerves at Christmas dinner, just say, "Shut up, you carbonaceous chondrite." But anyway, the similarities were astonishing.
3I Atlas appears to be rich in natural metals, and there is more exciting news. The Hubble Space Telescope has taken impressive images of 3I Atlas. Taken at the end of November from a distance of about 286 million kilometers, the images clearly show the bright coma, i.e. the gas envelope around the comet's nucleus, as well as faint hints of the characteristic tail. So here again, there is clear evidence that we are dealing with a natural object, a comet. What is particularly striking about these images is that the comet was incredibly active and bright. much brighter than one would expect from an object of its size. Incidentally, the size of 3I Atlas is still unclear. Estimates range from 440 meters to 5.6 kilometers in diameter.
If the comet is actually about 1 kilometer in size and has the assumed composition, then we're talking about a mass of over 600 million tons. A gigantic cosmic snowball packed with primordial material from a foreign star system. If we could capture and mine it, we could use it to build crazy cosmic structures like a Death Star, for example.
So we still have no evidence of alien life on 3I Atlas. But it could still have something to do with life because carbonaceous chondrites, with which 3I Atlas has so much in common, probably played a decisive role in the origin of life on Earth. They brought volatile materials that contributed to the formation of our atmosphere, so theoretically, 3I Atlas could also contain the building blocks of life. If we take this idea further, it leads us to the theory of Panspermia. Objects such as asteroids or comets moving through space could transport the building blocks of life and fertilize planets. And in the case of 3I Atlas, it would even be interstellar Panspermia.
That's kind of like if your father had first flown halfway around the world to... let's just leave it at that.
The European space probe JUICE, which is currently on its way to Jupiter's moons, was also able to take fantastic images of 3I Atlas. Taken from a distance of only 66 million kilometers, the images show not only the glowing coma, but even hints of two different tails. A plasma tail made up of electrically charged particles and a dust tail made up of solid particles. Observations of 3I Atlas will continue for some time. On December 19th, it will reach its closest point to Earth, about 270 million kilometers away. That's still almost twice the distance between Earth and the Sun, but not that far away in astronomical terms. And then James Webb will also be able to take another close look at our icy visitor. The discovery of cryovolcanism on 3I Atlas is more than just a scientific curiosity. It shows us that comets from other star systems can actually give us insights into alien worlds, and that these worlds may not be so different from our own cosmic neighborhood.
I'll keep you updated on everything else. So if you don't want to miss anything, make sure to subscribe to the channel now, and don't forget to give a thumbs up so we can hit 5,000 likes.
And now let's travel from the vastness of space to Africa. There, a gigantic gravitational anomaly has suddenly appeared, puzzling researchers worldwide. Gravity behaves completely differently there than in the rest of the world. But why? You can find out in the video shown above on the right. Be sure to watch it. It's very exciting, especially because this anomaly is thousands of kilometers across. And at the bottom left, you can visit the Astro shop if you still haven't found any Christmas gifts. Otherwise, I'd say see you in the next video. Take care, folks.